it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're going to key in on how important no contact is, how effective no contact is when it comes to dealing with a narcissist or psychopathic abuser, an individual in your life. Someone who is manipulative, someone who is constantly controlling, someone who sets unrealistic standards that you can never live up to, someone who uses the manipulation tactic of insulting, keeping you inferior, keeping you down. Because of their heightened sense of superiority, they feel that they should only associate with those others of special status in special institutions. And even though this can be quite grandiose, oftentimes it has nothing to do with their actual achievements. It's just a mindset. It's an what's the word I'm looking for? It's an overcompensation that they engage in attitude-wise for feeling because of their lowly origins of life. Perhaps they, had an origin of poverty, and so they have this very strong desire to get out of the poverty or the abuse, the emotional cruelty. Perhaps they were raised by alcoholics. People who abused them very young in life. And so they had a lot of trauma, and so this created an overcompensation for them to work hard. But not only did they work hard, they had to step over a lot of people to do it. They had to treat a lot of other people with shame and scorn and disdain and insulting and intimidation to keep them feeling superior, to help them feel that they were of a special status. And this becomes narcissistic, and this also becomes psychopathic. And in terms of really getting through to them, you cannot really speak through the mask. You're not going to get a genuine person. You are just going to get a mask. You're basically interacting with a facade. And a facade means basically a created persona, mask, put on, staging, act, just, for example, if you were to see an actress in a film, but they're not really that way in real life, that's just really what a narcissist or psychopath is. So what you see is not who they are. They are not genuine. They can't really back up their feelings for you because they really don't have feelings for other people. They will really use people and keep them around to keep them, providing them something. Whether it's having them feel more superior, they push people around, they control others so that they feel like the boss, and they tend to, take care of themselves by abusing others. So it's a very insidious sort of cycle. So I want to focus in here on this video on how important it is to get a sense of grounding when you're dealing with these people, and the importance of no contact. So when I talk about grounding, I mean really get your feet on the ground. If you can take your shoes off and go stand outside on the grass with your feet connected to the ground, your feet will begin to feel something very comforting. And that is because the earth has a lot of negative ions, and it can help dispel a lot of anxiety, just because the earth is very receptive, and it can help dispel a lot of that ionic imbalance it tends to be creating when you're with these individuals. So I want you to get grounded, and even if you can for a moment, just take off your shoes and socks and get barefoot and get a sense of being grounded. So you can do that in your home, but if you can really, when you think about going no contact, I want you to come from a place of being grounded. So if you can go outside and, just even if it's freezing, don't do it and go stand in the snow, but the contact directly with the earth gives you a feeling of being grounded. And if you can also then get grounded just when you're on your own, when you have a moment of peace, if you want to play some background music, something that helps you, block out all the negativity, whether you like classical music, 432 hertz music, something that is instrumental, something like waves, crashing on the beach, all the beautiful music that they have out there that's environmental. There's some beautiful music out there with like shamanic drumming and fires. People have some incredible videos of huge teepee fires that they've made, and it's like crackling, sounds, and you can watch the fire on your computer, and then hear some very meditative drumming. I want you to get very much grounded when you think about going no contact with this individual. And I want you to understand that it's contrary to your principles, your own values, to let people go. So, for example, if you're the type of person who had made a commitment and you're a very loyal person, so it's counter to your identity or your personality to let somebody go. In other words, you might have had a fondness for this person. You might have had a soft spot for them. You might have had a weakness for this individual. This might be a family member. And maybe you believe, families are always, going to be there through thick and thin. This is your value set. You have certain values that are keeping you around these, abusive people. So you have to look at what values, why am I keeping around this person? Or, like a viewer stated, what made me think that I could change these people or help them? It is because of your good heart. It is because of your good nature. Chances are you're more sensitive than the regular Joe. You're more sensitive than the regular gal. You've got a good heart. You care. You care about people. You care about humanity. The certain injustices in the world, make your heart tick. It makes you cry to see people abused. It makes you upset to hear about different tragedies going on. You feel empathy. And so this is probably why you felt that you could change or help these people, and you felt it was your role or your place to do this, and perhaps maybe you even had devoted your life to that. So if these are your values, you have to look now and say, wow, you know what? Some of these values are getting me into trouble. These values to always be there for them and over obligate and bend over backwards and try to appease the abuser or pacify them, or try to think that if I'm only a little bit better this way that things are going to change and I can be the peacemaker. Well, realize that perhaps some of these values are getting you into trouble and are causing you a lot of anxiety, stress on your body, and which then leads to disease, illness, degeneration in your mobility. It's difficult for you to have the same flexibility in your back, neck, shoulders, knees, hips, hands. You have to be careful of the insidious physical effects of keeping an abuser in your life. So when we talk about no contact, it is to be a complete no contact. And I know that this is tough stuff. It is a difficult pill to swallow. I mean, this is my rose quartz. If I had to swallow this, that would be pretty tough. It's a big thing to swallow. It's a tough thing. But when I talk about how important it is to go no contact, it has to be no contact. That means not calling them up, not following them on Facebook, not looking through old pictures. Because if you keep in contact with them, it's going to re-trigger all of the abuse, and then the role of you being a victim is going to be perpetuated in your life. And it becomes very sticky to get away from. If you tend to, think that you're just going to call them once a year, or that you're going to be there every 6 months, or, in these difficult times, you have to draw a boundary. You have to go no contact. You have to take care of yourself with this, because if you don't, you're not going to get into the space of where you're empowered. So when you talk about being grounded, it has to be a firm, still, sort of when you really can come into your body. Oftentimes people's body have been running their life because they have such anxiety that their body is running them. And so you need to get grounded. Allow yourself to become aligned with your body, mind, and spirit. And then in that space, make that commitment. I have to go no contact. I am going no contact. And I know what no contact means. It is not calling them up. It is not emailing them. It is not texting them. It's not following them on social media. It's not wondering what they're up to. It's not being jealous about them. It's not being feeling like I'm missing out something with them. It's getting completely neutral and letting go. And if this is a new thing, of course, practice is going to make perfect, and it's going to come with time, and it's going to come with your understanding. But when I talk about no contact, it's very important because only then can you begin to really understand and embrace how wonderful you are. And only then will life begin to bring you the sort of support, love, attention, and affection that you've really been looking for. Because now your heart is open and you're now so aware, and you're no longer open to attracting the negative, you're open to attracting the positive. And things get very exciting from there. And we're going to talk about the recovery journal and about how to continue to increase that positivity in your life, so you will be able to furthermore stand very strong and dispel that negativity. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.